Hey everybody, welcome to episode 13 of the Palmcast. Today is Mother's Day, so Teddy, we have to wish all of the mothers out there, probably disproportionately, not a lot of mothers that are listening to the Palmcast, but we always aspirationally have to hope that we get a lot more women on. So happy Mother's Day, ladies. Thanks for everything that you guys do.
Definitely. Yeah, we even if we're mostly guys on here, we all came from a mother, so we wouldn't be here without them. So thank you, and we get to enjoy Palms because of you. So happy Mother's Day.
True story, true story. Teddy, let's get started with this episode. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm pretty excited. We have a lot to talk about, some good and some bad. But can you start us off?
For sure. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching again. Our returning viewers, new ones hopefully, and we want to give a big thanks to Nelson Plant Food. This episode of the Palmcast is proudly sponsored by Nelson Plant Food. For over 30 years, Nelson has been providing high quality fertilizers, trusted by growers, landscapers, and gardeners alike. Whether you're planting palms, growing from seed, or maintaining established landscapes, Nelson Plant Food delivers the nutrients your plants need to thrive. Visit nelsonplantfood.com, all one word, to learn more and support the company that supports the palm community.
Love it. I love hearing that every week, man. Thank
Yeah,
you,
it's
Nelson.
good. Brings a twinkle to my eye.
I know every time you say that, everybody at Nelson's like, oh, their ears are twitching.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Love it. So let's start out as we always do, man. How was your week? What's new? We're, halfway through May almost. So what's going on?
That's that's crazy to say because it feels like every year, here in Tennessee we get a touch of everything for sure, but it usually kind of goes from winter, a really short spring with hot days up and down, and then almost kind of straight to summer. This has been like the longest spring I've ever seen here. We've been all the way up to 92 already, but that was a month ago. And this month so far, end of April, beginning of May, is just drug on with like in the 50s overnight, cloudy. Maybe we'll hit 70s during the day. I think yesterday was like 82 or something, but it's just been wacky. We've talked about this for a while. Um, I don't know. I guess we're experiencing an actual spring here this year, which is just odd because it's usually, like I said, winter to kind of summer. Um, so I don't know, dealing with that. We've definitely had some nice days too. We've got some rain, caught up on that, alleviated a little bit of the drought here, at least in Tennessee.
How much range you got?
Um, I think when we were talking about it, man, we were like a foot or so under where we should have been. And then we got like almost an inch of rain in like 2 days.
Wow.
And then kind of consistently we've been every 3 or 4 days we'll get a little bit more rain, half inch at least. So I don't think we've like completely caught back up, but we're looking a lot better, man, thankfully, because I was not looking forward to watering everything for the whole summer. Dude, that sucks so
It's
bad.
it's too early for that, man.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, got some rain, put some little flowers and stuff in the ground. I put that saw palmetto in the ground.
We'll talk about that today.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of gardening for sure. Back to mowing. And then this last week, yesterday we went to the zoo. We like to go there. There's some cool plants, do a bunch of plant staging. So where everybody else is kind of looking at animals, I'm the guy that's looking at the plants there.
I was just gonna make that comment. It's funny that you talk about going to a zoo that has animals and you're talking about plants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
It shows it shows who we are, right? It's like
Exactly.
when it's like how Tom McClendon had sent those pictures of palms everywhere he goes. It's like all of us are the same kind of people. Anywhere we are, our eyes are on the lookout for plants.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, went there and then we stopped at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel, which is right in Nashville. We like to go there. You go in, walk around, it's a gigantic hotel. It's got three huge atriums in it that are full of plants. So it's like a big greenhouses in the middle of the hotel. Walk around, there's little shops and eateries and restaurants and all that, but just packed full of plants, like 30-foot palm trees and cycads and all kinds of stuff. So we usually hit that in the wintertime to kind of beat the winter blues, but I haven't been there in a while. I don't think we went. Maybe we went this winter, yeah, around Christmas time, but because they do like light shows and all that stuff for Christmas. But yeah, we went yesterday, get my palm fix, and here we are Sunday and ready for the podcast. That was a good long ramble. So, what about you? How was your week, Tom?
Oh, you already know the answer to this question. It's been a week, man. So for everybody who doesn't know, this week was quite a week. So, as many of you know, I have chickens. We as a family have chickens. We love chickens. Eggs are the greatest thing if you have your own chickens. And we won't spend too much time on this because we've been yelled at about not talking enough about palms. So this whole episode is going to be all sable related. But we had chickens for a couple years, and we've coexisted with the raccoons and possums and stuff like that. Everybody out there probably knows where the story is already going. But walked outside on Wednesday, I believe it was, and just saw it. It looked like Nam. It was just dead chickens everywhere. Took out 15 of our chickens in one night. Got one left, and she's traumatized to leave the coop. So there's that. I'm 99% certain that it's a raccoon, just because of the behavior. So started trapping raccoons and possums the other day, and we are relocating them, so that they leave us alone. And we've got automatic doors for the coop, all that kind of stuff. So we have an awesome setup, and we must have stumbled upon a family or a cartel of raccoons or something that is just very intelligent. They learn to know when the delta was between the automatic door with the lack of sunlight. It auto senses lack of sunlight, goes down, and then auto senses sunrise in the morning to open up. So our chickens have always been in Fort Knox. So this one particular family of raccoons must have just been like total valid, just smart and valedictorians. So we trapped them and we're moving them out. So that's one thing that's been sad.
It
Uh,
was terrible.
Having to buy store-bought eggs just sucks. So anybody out there who has chickens, you guys understand what a crappy loss this is. And some of these chickens have been around for almost 4 years now. So yeah, that sucks. Also, not being able to take all of our food scraps and toss them out there and let them kind of work everything and then turn it into compost, right? We use that in the operation for our plants here in the nursery. We rely on our chickens for a lot of the breaking down of compost and dirt. So I now have lost a bunch of employees. So that really kind of sucks. So that's one thing. The other thing you probably can't see, but I have this club thumb. I know
Dude,
you're gonna laugh at me. Yeah, so I was cutting bacon yesterday morning, chopping bacon, and I ended up chopping much more than bacon. I took off the end of my thumb, which kind of sucked. A lot of bleeding, a lot of unhappiness by me, and yeah, I'm fine, but I've lost a lot of blood since then. So yeah, there's that. So it's been a great week, man. Other than all the bad things, it was a great week. We actually had, we've had a lot more rain than you guys, but it still gets hot, right? Even when we don't get rain for 3, 4 days. And we've already been in the 90s here. Yesterday it was like 93 or something.
mm,
And so when you get that and the UV starts to increase how it does now, you could definitely tell sun overhead almost versus sun way on the south. Now the sun is substantially stronger. Even just like a month ago, you could just tell when the oven starts to turn on in Texas. So having rain is beneficial. So we got a good amount of rain this week, cooled down as well. We were like in the upper 50s or 60s even. And today we were coming back home and lovely and sunny, and then all of a sudden walked outside of a store and there was a wall of black clouds, just a strong line of thunderstorms coming through. Got home thankfully, and it just downpoured. Probably got about a half an inch in 20 minutes. It just turned black outside, and now it's completely sunny outside. So I was actually setting up my laptop to go do the podcast up in my office, but then the sun came back out, and my wife's like, "Why don't you go back outside?" So I like this office a lot better. This is
For
a
sure.
real, this is real. This is not a background. Whereas my office background would have been a crappy, you know, a coconut or something that's not even real. All of this is real. So everything's good, man. The grass is green. Things are growing. I've given Nelson uh, palm fertilizer to just about everything now. So these rains coming through are just awesome. Like we're gonna start to see. The only thing is it hasn't consistently been in the 80s or 90s, right? So
Yep.
let's start talking a little bit about, palms, right? So I notice in general that things start to really heat up here for us in terms of growth. Our sables really start to move once we start to get in the 80s consistently, or we get in the 90s. That's when I start to see my growth happen. And that doesn't usually happen this, I mean, I guess not this early, but not this early, I guess, if you will. And it's been warm, but also periods of cool in between. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that we get through these periods of cool in between and we just kind of stay consistently warm because I got a lot of sables this year that are going to crank and truly get quite large. So I'm pretty excited about that. When do you start to see the majority of your growth up in Tennessee?
Yeah, no, same. For sure it's already started. And
Yeah,
that's man, that's the weird thing though, is like I wish Sables put out their leaves as fast as they put out their inflorescence because
yeah,
the flower stalks will come out like lightning fast in a few
yeah.
days. You can almost watch them grow. Like, why can't you clearly have the propensity to grow fast if you feel like it, Sables? Can you put out some leaves like that? That'd be nice, right?
I would that would be great. And actually on that topic, so yeah, we have all all of our inflorescences are basically out at this point. And one inflorescence that I'm getting that I just now saw the other day that I've never seen before is our Birmingham. We actually have one
Dude,
of
that's
the
awesome.
one of the Birminghams that I planted in February 2021, right after the storm. It may have been March, but it was like right after the freeze. I bought like 16 of them on eBay, and the parent palms in Wichita Falls. It's a beautiful, beautiful Birmingham. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you've probably not been on my Instagram or Facebook or my Etsy shop, but it's up on the listing. It has gotten probably, I mean, it's probably 7 feet tall at this point, and the base is probably 7 inches wide. So, and I just saw the inflorescence. I was like, yes, finally, I may actually get some seeds. Probably it'll be loaded next year. But it's getting there. So I'm pretty excited to actually have my own Birmingham that I could just continue to cultivate because this thing's been a tank, man. Like if you're talking a trunking palm in Dallas, actually I had a gal come by yesterday and buy 3 or 4 of my 3 gallons. And I keep telling people, I'm like, you won't find these in nurseries. And if you want something truly, truly unique, that is very, it's not quick. But the good thing about the fact that it's not quick is that once it does start to put out that little baby trunk, it's going to be head level for a couple of years
Oh
rather
yeah.
than being 20 feet tall. So I love those Birminghams. I'm glad that I finally have one that is going to have inflorescence and have my own seeds. So I'm pretty excited about that. But everything here's all the minors are already long, long seeding, right? Those are
Yeah.
all very early. Um, everything. Uh, tr Two of my trackies, well, the only two that I have are also already flowering. So everything here is kind of going, man. I mean, is there anything, do you have any trunking palms that are seeding? You have a Birmingham, right?
Yeah, but my biggest Birmingham, but that it seeded a bunch of years ago, like 2 years in a row. It put out seeds, and you got some of those. And then when we went -4, how that was like 3 winters ago now, I guess,
That's
and it
cold.
got fully defoliated. It hasn't rebloomed since then yet. So we've got a full head of leaves now, and I keep watching it, but it still hasn't put out an inflorescence again. So I don't. That really hurt it. That cold hurt it.
I
If
don't
we
blame it, man. I don't blame it. That's
if
freezing.
if we go that cold again, that's what I'm nervous about. Though is we've talked about that before. Like that's something that's kind of a misnomer to people when they get into plants. They're like, "Oh, I'm zone 8 or zone, whatever zone you are. Um, my palm's good to go." They can take a bunch of licks, but you can't push them every winter, though. And you've made a good point of that, and I think Tom reiterated that. They can't go, to their limit every single year because they'll start to decline
Yep.
and end up, just dying. It's not good for them. So
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, I'm worried that that's what's going to happen to that big Birmingham, and that's why I'm kind of babying it now. I want it to live and, and not die. It's one of my strongholds here. I'm trying to just keep my grips on.
I've seen isn't there a larger Birmingham in Memphis somewhere? Or no, Nashville,
Chattanooga,
Chattanooga, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, that's where I've got all the seeds. Or all the seedlings that I've got in my shop are from that Birmingham, and that one came Gary Holler from Gary's Nursery. Everybody obviously knows who he is. He donated that palm to a Southeastern Palm Society member a bunch of years ago, and he planted it, and it's at the Bonnie Oaks Arboretum in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So Chattanooga is right on the border, like the corner of North Georgia, and it's below the mountains, and it's kind of a really protected area. So you might as well just consider that as being Georgia. So there's no, it's not a surprise that the Birmingham lived there. But what still blows my mind is Gary's original Birmingham at his place got wiped out by the cold, and he
That's
had
wild.
palmettos. He had palmettos that year that lived.
So I'm doing some show and tell for everybody who's actually watching us on video. So this is just my Google photos, and just for anybody who doesn't know, kind of my documentation nature, my OCD, if you will, and organization. I document all of everything I grow. I document the parent palm photos. I try to get them every single year. So I keep like really meticulous notes, if you will. So I do my best to make sure whatever you guys are buying off of me or trading or getting is as accurate as possible. But the reason I bring this up is because so this is our parent palm in Wichita Falls. So this is where our parent comes from. And this thing, I want to say this photo, hold on, let me get rid of this stupid thing.
Dude, that thing is crazy.
So this is
Like,
2022. Does it say when? Yeah, so this is taken in 22. So it is crazy, man. Like, check this out. The gentleman that I think he told me, so here's a nice before shot, right? So everyone this, and I've made this comment to you a lot. If I had one poem, and I know for some reason, you and I were chatting about this prior to the podcast, but this is a poem that I haven't sold a ton of, which I'm perplexed. I get it. People out there who have grown Birmingham, they're slow. I get it. They're very slow. Ours have been very quick, to be honest with you. It might be the clay and the wetness and the heat, probably. But if there's one palm, and I've said this comment to you 1,000 times, this palm on the screen right now, if I could have copy and paste this size in my entire yard and have 200 of them, I would have this exact palm right here. You've
that,
got a 2 foot tall trunk ish and just a gigantic crown. Like this is my ideal palm. This is what I want right here. I mean, what do you not like about isn't this amazing, Teddy?
no, it's beautiful. That's what I agree 100%. Like, literally, just take a lawn chair, put it right under the palm, and you just have perfect shade. You can hear the leaflets blowing in the wind. It's just to me, it's just ideal. Like I imagine all those if you had those surrounding your pool. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Perfect,
dude.
dude. Perfect.
I know. And I collect these on Facebook, but here's other people. I don't know who this is. I should know this, but this gentleman was on Sable Seekers and he was posting his Birminghams. Like this is the perfect like just this size right here. I mean, this is all I want, guys. If I could have an entire yard of this, I'd be happy. The reason I pull up these photos is because the gentleman who I got our parent palm photos from. So up on the screen, we have the exact same Birmingham, the 28th of February, 2021. And you've got your low temperatures and then the high, right? So we've got what, 9 days of just truly crappy weather. You have a low of 28, 25, 19, and 14, 5, 0, -3, 14, 9, 18. And the
Yeah,
highs are 32, 32, 19, 23, 10, 9, 14, 21, 23, back finally over freezing at 36. So you've got a 9 day, call it 9.5 day under freezing. The Palm, or he has 10 day. So 10 day below freezing. Palm saw -10. -10.
what was
Uh,
it? The -10 was a different year though.
I don't know what that was. No, I don't know where.
Maybe that was a different year that he means.
I don't
I'm
know.
not
I don't.
sure.
Maybe, but I don't think we've ever seen -10. I
Hmm.
I don't know. I'll have to clarify. Regardless, after that cold, this is how ratty it looked. And what's cool is he took a bunch of photos as it was recovering. So here's like the following January. So 1 year after what would have been a career-ending year for the majority of palms, this
Yeah.
thing, I mean, and look, the top of the trunk is touching at this point. So this is older than that other photo. It's at the bottom of the window. It's beautiful. And honestly, I know some people don't want to cut the leaf bases off. I kind of like them ratty like this. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good length. I agree right there.
I like it. And then here it is 2 years later. I mean, absolutely incredible. Starting to look rather normal. I don't know what side of the house he's got it on, but again, I'm looking at it. Now you've got the top of the trunk is a little bit over that window.
Yep.
So I think he told me he planted this thing somewhere around 15, 16 years ago from like a 1 gallon.
But that makes a lot of sense in those pictures, and I'm glad we're spending some time on it because it's important for everybody watching. Notice how slow it's regrowing its canopy, and this is what I was mentioning about with mine. So like this guy in Wichita Falls is most likely not going to see that cold again. I'm not. Hopefully, we don't jinx it. Knock on wood. But here in Tennessee, those temperatures is almost exactly what happened to mine. Completely defoliated, and they only grow back, especially when they don't have any leaves to begin with. You're going to be lucky if you get 3 leaves out of it that year.
Yep.
And that's, that he looked like maybe he had 4, and then the next year, maybe another 4. Man, it takes a while to regrow a canopy. So that's what I mean with
The
if
one,
you
two,
really tear them up,
yeah.
you're not going to regrow a full canopy in 1 year on a slow growing palm like Birmingham.
That's correct. And I think I was trying to count this, but I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, which is about the average, right?
Yeah, yeah.
5 to 6 big fronds a year seems to be what they do. But then inflorescence wise, they just crank out inflorescences like it's no one's business. But I, I think what we'll do is we'll spend quite a bit of time today on show and tell if we can. I don't
Sure.
know if you have any of your photos that you want to walk through, but oh, this is another one. I don't know whose this is. I want to say this is in Connecticut or something. I've looked at this photo so many times, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit if I can. Nope, can't
I
zoom.
remember seeing
Of
that
course not.
somebody posted that. But that's perfect that the guy has a chair right there.
Yeah,
I
as
would,
reference.
if it was me, I would put the chair right next to the trunk and I would hang out right there.
I drink a beer right there.
Exactly.
I mean, but that's what's so cool is uh, again, like with everything, you're never gonna find a Birmingham outside of Gary in a 3 gallon or 5 gallon. You're like never gonna find a Birmingham truly. Oh, that's not what I want to show. Truly that big, right? Everybody wants 5 gallon, 10 gallon, 20 gallon, all that kind of stuff. You're not going to find it, man. So ultimately, like with everything in this hobby, is it's a lot of buying stuff 1 gallon or 3 gallon, five
Yeah.
gallon maybe, and then you just got to put the sweat equity in of watering it, of heavily fertilizing it, giving it proper sighting, and just you watch it take off. Now, what sucks is if you do that and then you move, that kind of blows. Not
Yeah,
gonna
that
lie.
sucks.
Yeah, but this also goes back to what you and I have talked about a lot. Whenever I buy something, I buy probably three or four.
Always. Always.
I
Yeah.
never buy
Minimum
one.
here, two minimum go in the ground every time, no matter what.
Yeah, and if you like Birmingham, put one in the ground and keep one in a pot and keep it until it's a 5 gallon, 10 gallon, 15 gallon. And if you move, you've got a 5, 10 year head start. How about that? So, yeah, man, you and I have talked about it. I'm a big fan of Birmingham's. This one, I don't have any current ones to show you, but this is ours on the side of the house. It's probably triple the size of this thing now. And this was taken, I want to say, 2024. So August, not year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So, there's that saying on Sables in general, first they sleep, then they creep, then they leap, right? So it takes a couple years for them to get established. So don't get downtrodden if you don't see a massive amount of activity immediately. It just doesn't happen that way. It always takes time. This is how small these things were at some point. Here's the same one. So here's the exact same Birmingham. I want to say 2023. Wow. And then
Yeah. So a year before that last picture.
now
Yeah.
you fast forward it to this guy right here. A year later. I mean, that's a heck of a difference, man.
Yeah, it is. But it's important that they keep their leaves though,
Correct.
because even the leaves looked a little ratty in the first picture, but it's still they had green and that's
Correct.
fueling your growth for the next year.
So another observation, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed that it didn't happen this year, but it did happen 2 years in a row. Two of my two of my Birminghams, and it happened a couple times, not just on one year, but a few years. My two of my Birminghams had some not damage to the center spear, but I'm assuming ice, and they froze, and I had to give them peroxide and copper and stuff like that. So I don't want to say that they're prone to it, but I have seen that my Birminghams have had some issues with that. But I mean, they kind of recover pretty quickly. This guy was planted at about that size.
Yeah.
So
That was like the size you were putting in the ground, I think back, what was it, 2021?
in March, yeah. I literally went on a spree and I bought about 120 sables at this size or smaller. Some were even smaller than this, man. So
Yeah.
that's why, everybody wants big stuff. I do too. But man, I started out humble beginnings, just as my wife always laughs at me, at my blades of grass. They were blades of grass.
No, I don't want to not say this. This is a really good point that you've brought up basically, and I just have to get the idea out. So absolutely, if there was a local nursery, right, besides me, like of course I grow palm trees too. Um, but what I don't have is a bunch of 15 gallons, right? Because I don't have the room for one, and for two, you've mentioned this before. Things sell out before you can even pot them up that big. You know what I mean? They're just gone. You got to restart more.
Yep.
But imagine if there was a place you could go local and get any kind of sable you want in 15-gallon. Let's go right now. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But you're missing out on all of that, the learning lessons that, like, all this knowledge base that you have now and that I have. We've got it because we started stuff small and we've gone through the whole process.
It's a
So
good point.
everybody listening, start small. Don't be afraid to put a palm in the ground. I know everybody wants a trunking palm. I do too. But those stages leading up to the point of it putting its trunk out and you having a big plant, you can't replace with anything you read on the internet. You've got to get your hands in the dirt and you've got to watch them year in, year out and see what happens and adjust fire from that. But all those learning lessons from starting them small is literally the most valuable information moving forward as a gardener that you could get.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but I mean, I haven't thought about that aspect of it. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for me doing this year in and year out with things that are substantially smaller, I feel like I'm just, and not because I am about as half as smart as Tom or Joe. I just know this because I've been through it in the school
Yep,
of hard knocks, if you will. So that's
exactly.
why a lot of this planting, I just notice crown rot, or I notice this, or I notice that. These are all just things that I figure out because they happen, and then I have to figure out how to solve them. So, yeah, that's a great point. It'll make you a better grower, if you will.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else on Birmingham's before we can always try to move on to something else?
Man, no, we've said this before and you just mentioned it, but it literally blows my mind because I'm the same as you. I've got, I don't know, not a bunch left. Maybe I've got 25 or so Birminghams left in the greenhouse. But people will just choose something else instead of a Birmingham. And of course, people buy whatever you want. But just this is me looking back on it. Like, I searched for Birminghams when I was first getting in the cold hardy palm game
I did too.
and had to go all the way to Gary's to get them. And now you've got them in your shop and I've got them too. And I don't know why people aren't buying them more. It just mystifies me. Like, you don't need 10 of them, but why not buy at least one? Like, it's going to be harder than a palmetto.
Yeah.
So, like, why not have this in your yard? I don't know. It's a head scratcher to me.
If you, I'm gonna plug this.
Look at that.
If you guys out there, hold on, this is hard to do. If you guys have not bought a copy of Hardy Palms for the Southeast, I'm always very upset because I hang out with a lot of you guys from the Southeast and I'm not from the Southeast. So all of your books and all of your clubs you guys go to, I don't belong to because I'm from Texas, man. No, so if you guys don't have this book yet, this is Hardy Palms for the Southeast. Regardless of if you're in the Southeast, a lot of this is specific to Tom and Joe and everybody else and the things that they've learned. But this book has got a ton of awesome information. And I'm lucky enough that Tom McClendon autographed my book, guys. Look at this. You too, if you buy
Awesome.
one, it's up in Tom's shop. Uh, so go buy one. But the reason I was going to actually, I pulled this out, and by the way, it's really hard to flip pages with a club. This is just pretty lousy. But the reason I pull this up is because I was looking at this. Tom actually sent this to me the other day, and his blurb on the Birmingham is so cool because it just kind of where is it? It kind of underscores the stuff that we do. And I made a post about this yesterday. I got a big bag of Bald Head Island palmetto seeds. And,
Yeah.
I thanked the individual who sent those to me, but I'm being serious. Like, you were the same way. We don't do all this stuff alone. We always get seeds from other people. I can't travel over to Bald Head Island and get seeds. I'd love to, but I can't. I don't have time. And just like everybody else that is kind enough to send me seeds. I have Miamiensis from Hayes Jackson. So I get stuff from all kinds of great people and the stories and saving these palms. So if you don't know the story of the Birmingham, it is entirely shrouded in mystery, Tom tells us. The immediate origin is in Birmingham, Alabama, where an elderly lady had cultivated a palm that she got from either Texas or California. I'm from Texas, so I'm going to say it's from Texas. Um, the original palm was planted in the 30s or the 40s. So just put that in your brain, man. Like all you have a palm that's shrouded in mystery. Don't even know where it's from. Very, very old. Back when there wasn't a whole lot of interest in palms. She died in the 70s, and then before that, nobody asked her where she got that palm. So we have no idea. Soon after her death, her home was demolished. Luckily, someone had notified the officials at the Birmingham at the botanical gardens, and the palm was dug up and replanted at the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. At the time the palm had 12 feet of trunk. Once there, unfortunately, it succumbed to a combination of transplant shock and the freezes of the 80s, which caused problems in the South. Bob McCartney of Woodlanders had the foresight to collect the seeds from the original palm and distribute the seedlings to enthusiasts in the South and elsewhere. So imagine where we would have been, Teddy, if Bob wouldn't have gotten those seeds, would not have grown them out, and would not have handed them out to people or sold them, however. Um, we, I wouldn't have them in my yard. We wouldn't have what's on the screen here today. And it just goes to this, it's pretty geeky. We try to find stuff from palms that are hardy or odd or whatever. You know, a lot of folks outside of our industry are like, yeah, who cares? But this person may have just completely saved a gem of a trunking palm. How cool is
No,
that?
no, 100%. That's it can't be understated. Like, for one, the lady that kept it, if anybody's ever been to Birmingham, Alabama, which I've driven through there a bunch of times, there is not a lot of palm trees there. It is
No,
not a palm-ridden community by any means. So the fact that there was a giant trunking sable there that was planted that long ago is amazing it by itself. For two, like you said, Bob McCartney, what a wonderful guy. And that foresight for collecting the seeds and starting some seedlings. But then the next step was Gary Holler. Those seedlings that Bob had might have just gone to normal homeowners, and there could still be ones alive, but they wouldn't have gotten around that much. But what Gary from Gary's Nursery did is he bought six of them, and he grew a few out, his biggest one that produced seeds for many years. And he blew up and grew the hell out of Birmingham and got it all around to everywhere around the country. So great thanks to him too
of
for us
course.
being able to have him. But yeah,
Yeah,
unbelievable. What a weird thing that could have just if a couple instances didn't happen, it would have just disappeared and nobody would have ever known about it.
it would have been such a shame.
Yeah, terrible.
Such a shame. And I'm reading here, and what they say is interesting. Um, Time will tell, but it seems clear that this palm will eventually emerge as the most cold, hardy trunking palm, possibly as hardy as Sabal minor. So if you're out there, guys, and if you're in zone 7, A or B, I don't want to keep hearing people asking me, can I grow up palm? Can I grow up palmetto? Can I do this? Can I do that, Teddy? I know you like all those same roundabout questions as well. Guys, you need to try a Birmingham. Like, why have you
For
not
sure.
ordered a Sable Birmingham? It is, to me, it's crazy. Like, you may not get the same size that you're looking at here, or maybe that one. Um, but why would you not grow one? I don't get it.
No, there's an order of precedence that I repeat it to everybody, and you can do what you want, of course, in your own yard. But in my head, there's an order of precedence that you need to plant. Needle palm and sable minor are your backbone for a cold, hardy garden. You have to have them. Plant multiples. Plant at least a few needle palms because they grow big. You don't have to have five or six, but grow two or three.
Yep.
Then scatter in sable minors. Plant seven, eight, nine, 10 of them all over the place. Plant them in little groups. Scatter them in different areas, and then and only then move on. Your next layer is Sabal, Louisiana, Sabal Brazoriensis, and Sabal Birmingham. Those are going to be your ones that you can start expanding into having trunking palms in your yard. But in my mind, you've got to go. You got to follow the order.
I know.
It makes me laugh all the time. People want to go straight to palmetto, and they don't have any sable minor in their yard.
I
They
know.
want to go straight to palmetto. They don't have a Birmingham. Why would you? To me, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I had a gentleman with his family come by last weekend actually after the podcast, and he is local to here. And it's great whenever I find people or they find me on Facebook and they come by to the nursery. They people spend more time not in the greenhouse. They spend more time out here.
Yeah,
And he had his heart set on it was a palmetto actually. He'd messaged me about palmettos. So it's funny you say that. And I showed him our palmettos. Ours are growing quite well. They're very carefree. But when he started to see how big our miners looked and our Sabal Louisiana behind the Mexicana right here, he was like, "Wow, that's what that looks like." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he walked out with not palmettos. I mean, people start to
yeah,
realize, I always preach that start with your champions in the cold hardy world. There's
yes,
so many minors. Just start to get your minors, and then you move on. But I really do enjoy um Tom's. It's funny. I'm glad I have this book out here because it's like story time at the library. It says because of its rarity, the Birmingham palmetto, it deserves a cherished spot in your palm collection. And
for
I
sure.
agree. I agree. I think everybody should have a Birmingham. After the freeze, I went on eBay from this individual. He sells them periodically. And I think I bought 16 that year. I planted them all over the place. I've got like four in the back of my property, two over here. I've got a couple up front. I've got two at the top of my driveway, long driveway, which I'm hoping as they get older, I'm going to have two beautiful palms at the top of my driveway. So as you're driving by the street, you're going to see two gigantic Birminghams. I did it on purpose, right? I could have
Yeah,
had something else up there, but I knew even in 2021, I wasn't very intelligent yet in the palm world. I was brand new in palms. But even just seeing this, I was like, yeah, I want trunk and I want hardy. It fits the bill for them both. Put
for
them in a
sure.
spot where I want it to be a centerpiece palm.
Exactly.
I knew already.
Smart man.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say, yeah.
I'll
So
say it.
thanks, man. I appreciate it. And likewise, we have a lot of good people that we get to hang out with. So, Tom tells us if you live in zone 7 and warmer, this is a palm that you have to have and you won't have to worry about when old man winter pays a visit. He talks about the fact that it resembles, at least on the surface, palmetto. And in fact, it may be a hardy ecotype of the palmetto. He talks about as well that there's no direct evidence that the Birmingham palmetto is a hybrid. So we'll talk about that at the end of this month once we have Tom and Joe on, how
Yeah,
everybody thinks anything that looks different is a hybrid. They just rule out the variability of palmettos, especially that are wildly variable. Um, Tom also says that, what did he say here? Where is it? He says something about, where did he have? So he basically said it could be a palmetto, but just not quite as large of a trunk, right? Which again, it fits what I want. I don't want 20, 30, 40 feet, which is why trackies are not wildly exciting to me. But I would love to have a 12 to 15 foot tall palm. They right there on the screen. I'll say it again. I think that's perfect, man. I don't know what the heck else in life you want, honestly.
Yeah, because if you get to that point, it's of course it's growing every year, but it's growing vertically like its height so slowly that it almost freezes in time at that size. And you get, imagine if you had it that size, you're gonna have it within that range, like for 5 to 10 years, it's not really gonna visibly move too much vertically.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
funny, what's funny is Gary has his biggest sable miner. It looks exactly like that at his house,
That's wild to me,
which is
honestly.
insane. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it though because it's off camera, but the my big what I bought is a Riverside, which is not a Riverside. I truly think this thing probably is either a Louisiana or a minor. Irregardless, the base is probably 2 feet wide at this point, and
Yeah.
it's just a mess uh, of
Oh,
patio
petioles.
bases, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just looks gnarly. And I could see it getting that big, man. This thing was planted as maybe a 3 gallon 3 years ago. This thing is to almost to the top of my outdoor kitchen. It's freaking huge. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ginormous.
How tall is it overall? Like 10 feet?
It's
8 feet?
probably about 9 feet right now, I would say.
That's crazy.
It is huge. It's absolutely gigantic. And it's carefree. I never have to worry about it. Like I don't know
Hmm.
why I just don't know why you wouldn't buy a lot of these miners as
You
a
got,
as a sable grower.
do you let the seeds grow out on that thing?
I do. I do.
I,
I'm
I need,
actually,
I need some this year. Save me some, please.
yeah, I will. I'll send you a couple of seedlings. They're actually outside currently germinating. This thing
Perfect.
probably, I'm not kidding. This thing probably made 15 pounds of seed on its own last year.
Yeah, it's crazy when well, I don't, I want to say that's a minor because I'm not sure, but
I
you
don't doubt
know,
it.
but if you get four more giant seed stalks and it's like, a pretty mature palm, unbelievable how many seeds are on it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I remember you said carrying trash bags full of seeds, and that's exactly what you have to do. There's so many.
I had to switch from trash bags. I do contractor bags now because
Yeah,
I've noticed that I don't know what the scientific name is, but the actual structure that has all the seeds in it, they're very pokey, if you will,
yeah.
kind of,
Uh,
and it'll tear a regular trash bag up. So I put a contractor bag over it, put it down, and then just cut it. And I just drop that in there, and then I just cut the actual inflorescence at the base. This guy's got an inflorescence from last year that's still 4 feet tall. I've had to go from like a clipper to hand clippers. Now I use
yeah,
the Sawzall because
yep.
like I've got to go Sawzall because these things are nasty. They're very very big. Um, do you want to do we add anything else on Birmingham other than Teddy and I both have them in our shop. You guys should be buying Birminghams because I've long said probably the most cold hardy trunking and reliable trunking sable.
Yeah, I think we summed that up.
Okay. Let me what do you want to do next? I have pictures of probably everything you and I both have and sell.
I had a couple things I wanted to touch on. I don't want to
Yeah.
forget. So if you
Yeah,
know
go
what you
ahead.
got, let me venture into this really quick.
Yeah.
Um, so we wanted to talk about sables, obviously. All the miners have seed stalks out. This is common here. I think you had a collapsed inflorescence, didn't you? Did you post a picture of that the other day and talk about it?
Of
I
the
had
rosy
one.
eye?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's my well, that's my I'm not sure what that thing is. I'm not quite sure it's a rosy eye, but I don't think it's a minor either. That's man, we could probably have an just an episode on that damn thing. I don't know what that thing is. The person I bought it from is very reputable, very, very good about keeping records, just like the rest of us. Got it from he got it himself at Joe's place and
Yep.
collected it off of Joe's rosy eye. Joe has a couple of rosy eyes. I think the one that mine came from perished, and so our seedlings are from Joe's current rosy eye, and they're big seeds. The ones I have are more akin to like a palmetto or a sable minor. They're
Yep.
way smaller. But yeah, it's when it's easy to say, oh, that's a minor or that's this or that's that. But when you have so many of them, and I don't say this because I of any particular reason. But when you have so many of them and you've got inflorescences like everywhere you look, you start to, I do at least, I look at the details and you can start to see how stiff they are. Like
Yep.
on your minors, they're just like straight up and they're thick as could be, dude. It's like it's thicker than a petiole.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they don't come down. Our Louisianas at the end of the year when they're loaded and they're heavy, they'll come down and I zip tie them to the petioles actually to
Yep.
hold them up a little bit. But
Yeah, I
that's
do
the
the
only
same thing.
time. Yeah. But like on this rosy eye, it's very interesting. Well, what I think is a rosy eye. Uh it flowers, it pushes its inflorescence up from the base. It pops it up maybe 2, 3 inches early. It stops for a while. The minors are all going already. The Emerald Isle Giants, everything else is already seeding. This guy just kind of sits there, waits and waits and waits. And a couple weeks ago, it goes and pushes. It gets to like the top of the canopy and goes like an inch or two higher and stops. And then literally overnight, it's not stiff, it just collapses. And so it's reminiscent not of a minor or of a
Yep.
Louisiana. So I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm going to start to see within the next year or two whether it just creates a base and stays minor like, or if it begins to do what our Mexicana over here, oh man, over here is doing and starts to actually put out a trunk. I'm starting to see this thing actually make a trunk every other weekend I walk out here. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's like our first real freaking, it's probably 6 inches wide, but it's so fascinating to actually watch it build a trunk. I love
Yep.
this Mexicana.
Yeah. So, I asked about that inflorescence that collapsed because I've got you've got a bunch of sable miners too that you got from Nearly Native Nursery, and so do I. I think I've got seven of them, and they're something weird. They're not a super uber dwarf like a Blountstown, but they're very small, and the inflorescence has come out the earliest here.
Mm,
So one of them was 8.5 feet tall, had to be. It's right next to the driveway, so I see it there's a whole line of them. All the inflorescence are out, different heights, but this one had one really high, 8.5 feet. And I came home the other day and it was just completely like flat, like kinked and bent over. I
yeah.
don't know if the wind got to it or what happened, but that was weird. Where was I gonna go? Oh yeah. Oh,
On mine, I can tell the structure of the inflorescence. It's not, again, when you look at the details, I think you and I are probably very, very detail oriented. But when you
mhm.
look at these miners, I mean, I'm not kidding, dude. Like right now, even this old one over here that got cut last year, I could probably I could pull it down to the ground and I'd have to work really hard to cut it. That one is, I don't want to say dainty, but it's kind of dainty.
Oh yeah.
It's very thin, and at some point about halfway up it just kinks and it fell.
Yep. Yep. That's what happened to this one too. And it is these grow a lot smaller diameter than like a normal miner.
Yeah.
Like I've got miners from Gary, so they're North Carolina, ecotype. I've got my biggest sable miner is McCurtain, but it'll grow. Man, it grows like you know big, 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 like half dollar size or more diameter for the inflorescence, like solid. You
Really?
could you could cut one off and whip someone's ass with it for sure, no doubt about it.
So that's interesting because I'm glad you said that. I have a Beaufort County, North Carolina miner up front that I got from the same individual that I got the Rosii from. And
Yeah.
again, this individual does a very good job of keeping records. He's been doing this for a long time. So I trust him. And the Beaufort, which is really weird, I have no, it's a minor, 100%. It
Hmm.
doesn't have any issues over the winter time. And it's now seeded, it's going to seed, I think this is year two. But what's interesting is every single miner's already, I mean, already they're about to, I'm looking, they're about to, let me see. So they're probably about to start opening, like actually having blooms within the
Yeah.
next week or so. Every single one. And they're fully out there. They're huge. This one is probably maybe 6 inches up from the base. It is very, very, and it didn't even emerge for a long time. I mean, it's
But
only done stuff
this,
for like a week and a half now.
this is its first year flowering or no?
Two. It did the same thing last
Oh
year.
yeah, yeah. So that's weird then. Sometimes
It is weird.
the first year they're slow,
Yeah, yeah.
But if it flowered last year, no, it should be way out there then, huh?
This is a pattern. It's it's
Yeah,
it's late, but it's definitely a minor. I have no indications it's anything else.
yeah, for sure.
But it's weird.
Oh, bloom time is very interesting subject. Tom and Joe, we'll have to remember that and put that on
Yeah,
the list for when they
yeah,
come.
100%.
But here, before I forget, there's one thing like this whole rant I wanted to get out was I've got my black Berniana, right, from Plant Delights,
I have two.
and I'll put it out there. And this, everything that we talk about is, of course, our experiences and things that we notice. So this is not ever to knock somebody or what they've got or what they're doing. This is literally just my experience because I'm a gardener too at my house.
Yep.
Um, got a black Berniana from Plant Delights. It's been in the ground, man, four. It's gone through 5 winters, I think. Um, Pretty big, probably bigger than a 15 gallon, probably like close to a 30-gallon size. If you could imagine how big that is, 4 feet wide and 5 feet tall, maybe. But anyways, my point, Black Berniana, everybody thinks, okay, that's one of those weird intermediate, like grows a trunk type sables, but slower, not as fast as a palmetto. Nobody's really sure what it is. Last year, this Black Berniana pushed one seed stalk out.
Oh, it did?
Yep, last year. So
And
that
you and
was
I
that.
bought them the same year, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, I think we did. Um,
Wow.
and then this year, it's got four inflorescence it's pushing out right now. And there's two things I want to say here. So the first one is it's kind of odd that it's that small and that young and
Yeah.
it's pushing inflorescence. So we'll have to see how that goes. Kind of tells me it might be something else besides a trunking palm, but we'll have to see. The other thing to note is that I wanted to mention first year when any sable blooms and pushes seeds, a lot of times they're sterile. I don't know if you've noticed
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
they're not viable.
Yep.
So out of like maybe 20 seeds that were on it, I got two that did germinate and I've got those in pots in the greenhouse. But a lot of times I've noticed the entire crop will just be sterile,
Yeah.
won't get anything to germinate, and then the next year you'll get good germination, like standard, 90% or above.
I'm looking, I'm not ignoring you. I'm
Yeah,
looking
no.
because I'm looking for Black Burniana, and that's the one thing I don't see that they didn't write up a segment on Black Burniana. I have two of them. I've got one right here behind me. Where is it? Can you see it? Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Which one is it? Hold on, it's right. It's hard to see. I have one here and then one up in the front. They don't look like miners to me. Mine don't, at least, but mine generally, I not always, right? Because we can talk about that, but generally, not always. Miners will seed at a very, very early age,
Yep.
whereas the majority of trunking palms won't even do anything until they have a trunk, right? They won't seed for
Yep.
years after they have a trunk. Um, but I think it's well known that the Urasanas and the Rosii for some reason are very early seeders. Like they'll seed before they have a trunk.
Yeah.
So that's why, we'll talk about this with Tom and Joe, but we always laugh. Tom's like, "Hey, how big is the seed and how big is the fruit?" So I take a picture, I send it over to our group chat, and Tom's like, "Great, you've narrowed it down to 12 or 15 Sabals." Great. It's like some parts of my rosei scream rosei, and some parts of it are minor. Some parts of it could be, it's not a palmetto because it doesn't, it just, you could just tell.
Yep.
They
No,
just have,
Palmetto's got a distinct look.
yeah. So I don't know what it is. I have no clue. And like we've said a lot of times, until proven otherwise, we have to take the word of the guy prior to us or the gal prior to us, and we'll find out eventually what this thing is. But my rosei takes a lot more damage than any one of my miners out here. So I don't know what it is, man. I really
That
don't.
you remember that picture that either Tom or Joe sent you of me in front of the rosy
Yeah.
eye?
Yeah.
That now pictures are pictures, but me standing in front of it, I took quite a while and looked at that thing as like the tour group like went on way past it, and I'm checking it out. It does not look like your standard palmetto, mexicana, any kind of like fit into the book trunking palm or trunking sable. But
Yeah.
it does not look like a minor. It doesn't look like a Brazoriensis. It looks like its own thing. Like the base is like it's got this weird pyramid style growth to it. Like it's really wide at the bottom. The it's really narrow at the top. The leaf bases are stacked really weird together. They've got a weird pattern to them. But
Interesting.
you can tell it's just old. Like it looks old. The trunk's not really tall on it, and the whole plant isn't tall overall. But
Yeah.
it just has this thing. It just looks old when you look at it. They're an interesting thing. I in my mind, like of course I can't narrow down exactly what yours is in your yard, but I would be willing to say that it's a rosy eye, and time will tell for sure. But
Yeah, time will tell for sure. And ultimately, honestly, I've said this a lot of times. I frankly don't really care. I really don't.
right.
As long as it does what I need it to do, I'll be very happy with it, right? So
Hmm.
it is what it is. Now, one thing I do want to actually talk about is we talked a little bit about the Birmingham. The other one I want to talk about is, oh, for everybody who's watching this, if you have not watched episode 12 with the Texas Garden guy, we just dropped that episode today about 2 hours ago. Watch that episode. Destin is just a phenomenal human being. His journey from an electrician to plants to Instagram over COVID to now being a rock star at Nelson Plant Food it's inspiring, and he's just a great guy. So if you have not watched that episode, go back and watch episode 12. It's a great episode. You won't be disappointed.
Dude, we got to get him back on. I feel
Yeah.
like that's the case with almost a lot of the guests we have on. Is like we barely scratched the surface.
Yeah. So this other one I want to talk about, we talked a little bit about the Birmingham, or a lot. We talked, one of the other ones that you could get at Cold Hardy and Trunking. So our Louisianas that I have in the shop are from Tony here in DFW. So if you guys don't know who Tony Cerbone is, he is a fantastic individual as well. Tony,
He's got the best Louisianas, I think. Like the just picture perfect. Look at that thing.
there, that one.
Look at that thing.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I don't know why I can't zoom. Oh, here I can zoom in. Oh, there we go. So you can see where was it? I was just taking a look at like the damage from
There's got to
last.
be 30 leaves on that thing. More.
Yeah. Yeah. And none of them are truly damaged from last year. Maybe right there a little bit. Right here.
Man, that thing's beautiful.
But it's a good looking palm, isn't it? I mean, again, look at that base. It's what, 4 feet tall, you think, right there?
It has to be, yeah.
It's incredible. And it's just on the side of the road next to his home in Dallas. Imagine if you don't know anything about cold hardy palms and you're driving down the road and you see this in a neighborhood. I would literally stop and go to the person's door and go, "Where do I buy one of those?" I need
Exactly.
that. I absolutely need that. And in fact, I don't have a road presence because my house is set back. You can't see my house from the road, but maybe once like our two Birminghams up front look half as cool as this, I want to make one of those, signs and just put it there and just say, "Hey, here's how you get our stuff." But
Exactly.
I would definitely stop and be like, "Where did you get that? This thing is absolutely incredible. Just it looks so good, dude."
I don't know why, but this is just a stupid thing in my head. But palms like that, like the Louisiana, the Birmingham, Brazoriensis too.
That'll be
Um,
next. Yeah.
I don't know why they remind me of it, but it makes me think of pirates. I don't know why.
Pirates?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I don't know, stupid.
No, it's cool, man. So on Louisiana's, hold on. I'm gonna show another. Oh, hold on. Don't stop screen sharing. Is my screen still visible?
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys. This is how I organize all of my stuff. I have another one. This just kind of shows you how crazy I am as a person. This is the crazy stuff that I do. Let me find this. So I have not sold a lot of these. I'm not sure why. Maybe, you and I have talked about sometimes we think that things that we are super interested in should sell like hotcakes, but they don't
yeah.
because, yeah, we're total nerds. So I saw this guy on Palm Talk years ago in
I
2020.
remember that.
2024. This guy was in Louisiana and he was walking along the beach on the ocean and he stumbled upon this palm. And you could just see it's in like a burlap bag. Its roots were completely exposed to the sun, the salt, the sand, and looks like this thing's on death's doorstep. And I guess it must have washed up from some sort of a tributary or something in the swamps. And you would think if you're ever going to find a Louisiana, it's probably going to be in this exact kind of scenario. And he brought it home, and I mean, it just looked like crap. This thing looks legit unhappy.
Yeah,
Looks
that
like
looks dead. It's
garbage.
dead. It's
It looks
basically
dead.
dead.
Yeah. And he posted all these great as it comes back kind of. But what's interesting though, so it looks like it's dead in this first picture. It literally is not even in the ground. It has nothing to sustain itself. But yet it's going, I need to flower. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's last ditch effort to, pass
Trying to
on its
live.
genetics.
Yeah. And so he has these photos as it gets better and better. I mean, look at this. One, two, three, four big inflorescences. And I think that's all I see. Four big inflorescences. And this thing just got put in the ground. And then, as you'll see over time, he has a cool looking dog down here, uh, Aussie Shepherd. But look at how this thing is recovered.
No, it's crazy that like that's what I was talking about before with like that irregular leaf base growth pattern. Like it just is like erratic and looks weird, and that's kind of typical with like some Brazoriensis do that, Birmingham and Louisiana's as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw this his thread on Palm Talk. Why can't I zoom out now? This is
It's
killing
amazing that thing survived, man.
it is what it's a testament though, not only, we're not talking cold hardy here. This is just life hardy. This thing just didn't want
Yeah,
to die.
yeah,
And I saw this thread on Palm Talk and I said, I got to reach out to this guy and say, can I get some seeds? Because this is interesting, right? I don't know what this thing is, and I'm not looking for fame or notoriety, but I always, in the back of my mind, I'm like, even if I got 10 seeds, just so I can have one either here or at my ranch,
yep.
it's gonna be a home for misfits out there. After I get my ranch up and running, it's gonna be a home for everything. I'm gonna have one of all of this stuff just because people are someday gonna find a video on Palm Talk or on YouTube and go, oh, that's interesting. Is it alive? Yeah, it's in East Texas, and I have seeds or I have plants. Like I'm gonna plant everything, and even if it turns out to be not in this case, even if it turns out to be just a palmetto or a minor or whatever, I don't care. I have 30 acres. I'll plant whatever I want, however I want. But I want to keep these genetics because this stuff is interesting. This thing has a will to
Yeah.
live, and and you'll notice it just gets better and better every single year. And look at the inflorescence; it's gigantic, gigantic.
Hmm.
But it's not quite a minor though.
No, I don't think so. A minor wouldn't look like that at that height. Like
Yeah.
its base is like that. That's a Louisiana for sure.
So it's interesting. So I have these in my shop and I haven't sold a lot of them. Hopefully I do after this. But it's just very unique. And I have another one too. I found this guy. This is by me in Denton, Texas. Look, look at this base.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I love palms that look like that. It just looks crazy, like, but in a good way. Like it just looks wild. It's got
It's a
like
tank.
this energy to it that I want in my yard.
Yeah, this is on the side of I believe Rosa's Cafe in Denton. So if anyone's listening, it is on University Drive, I believe it is, by the Lowe's. Actually, it's right next to Lowe's in
How
Denton.
tall is that thing overall?
I
Like
mean,
12 feet, 15 feet?
look at it. The inflorescence is like pretty much darn near on the roof at this point.
Hmm.
It's right here. This thing is
No, that's
big,
great.
man. It's in the
Yeah.
drive-through. It's in the drive-through. I literally went up there, and I think this is the day that I got the seeds. I just walked up and I grabbed an entire inflorescence because it was going to be cut down by gardeners anyway,
Yeah.
or eaten by birds. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of these, and I think ours have got to be. This must have been in 2024, maybe. Yeah, in March of 24. So these seeds were from the year prior. But to go back to, so I have a couple of Louisianas here. So I have like my big one in the backyard, which people love. There's just something so unique about it. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
that
have
one
any.
looks, I love to see pictures of that one.
That is another one. So this is, let's see, what's the smallest age that I have of this thing? I have some. Oh, I don't have. Oh, here's my seeds last year.
Hmm.
Just gigantic, loaded with seeds. I just love seeing it, man. And we'll talk about how we get seeds and we take care of seeds, but you could just see the base is just beginning to grow. This is probably last year, I'm assuming. Just it's a great looking palm. I just love it so much. It's very
Yeah, it's so cool.
super carefree. I think this is yeah, this is last year. Just a great looking 6 foot wide, probably more at this point. Oh, it's gonna rain again. Oh, lovely. Um, six. It's probably set 8 feet tall at this point, 8.5 feet tall. And you can see too, what's interesting here for me is if you look hard enough, almost every year, this guy suffers. Where's the leaf? He suffers in his crown from the ice.
Yeah.
It'll lose like half of a frond
Hmm.
every year. Oh, here it is.
Yep.
Every year. So it goes back to the whole comment earlier of just because I'm in zone seven and this thing says I can grow it in zone seven. Yeah, I made the comment to you a lot. It's like you can go and fight in the MMA and do a fight once every couple of months or something, but if you do a fight every single week, man, you're going to be a vegetable in probably
Yeah.
a month. Like
Yeah.
it's
You
same
got to
thing with
have
these things.
time. Yeah. You got to be able to recover. Plants are the same for sure.
So
You
that's ours. But I'm going to read what Tom has written because Tom and team have such valuable insights, obviously. Now, if I
Yeah.
can find it,
Sure.
where is it? Man, I just have
My
like so many photos.
my biggest Louisiana is looking a lot better now, but it had scale so bad for the past two
Dale.
years.
Yeah.
It was about now I don't know if it would die if would have died, but like it was losing fronds like crazy because it was just getting beat up so bad. It was not growing really great, growing slow. Finally got the scale beat back with Safari, and now it's looking a lot better, thankfully.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about scale at some point. That's a whole episode by itself and taking care of stuff. Um, but yeah,
Where
I
is that?
so this is Tony's as well.
Oh, really?
It's the exact same Louisiana.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that thing's
That
right
right
on like
there.
it's right next to the sidewalk. It's so awesome. My God. I would walk by his house all the time if I lived there.
Yeah. And if you notice right here,
Lisa.
yeah. His is actually seeding this year. I told him to put me on the list.
Nice.
Finally seeding.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
so Tom's got a height of up to 15 feet with an emergent trunk to 10 feet. He's got 7B and warmer. Um, it's a Western ecotype of minor that occurs primarily in Louisiana and East Texas. The trunks can be as tall as 10 feet tall. And again, honestly, if you can get the hardiness of a minor and get 10 foot of clear trunk,
Yep.
what more do you want in your life? I don't understand.
I don't get it. Why people wouldn't grow it more. I'll argue with Tom a little bit for sure 7A and a lot of people have luck with them in 6B also though.
Yeah. Well, and so to be clear, we'll beat up on Tom soon. This book was published in 2007. So I was telling my kids on the night I got this book, oh, lovely. Lightning 8 miles away. If it starts to downpour, I'm gonna have to turn my laptop around, FYI. But I told my kids when I got this, I was like, guys, it's 2026, and these guys were writing a book in 2007.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
was in 2007 was my last year of college. No, I graduated in 2007. I was just actually starting as an adult in the workforce in 2007. And these guys were already smart enough, which I strive to be. I want to be like Tom and Joe someday in my life. They were already that awesome in 2007 that they wrote a book. That's
no,
incredible.
yeah, that's what like you and I have known them for a while and talked to them. They're, we're all friends. Those dudes are so humble. They didn't even mention that they had written a book. I didn't
I know,
even
I
know.
know,
I didn't
I
even
know.
know. And then Tom's like casually like, "Oh, yeah, I found a copy of this book I just had laying around. Oh, what book? Oh, well, one that we wrote. What do you mean you wrote a book?" And I was like, "You need to reprint this thing and get it back out there."
I know. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of, Tom sent me 2 copies of this book. So when we do our episode with them, you guys are going to be watching the episode with Tom and Joe the week after the 31st because we're recording it on the 31st. You guys are going to be watching it the Sunday after. So make sure if you do not have this book, you tune in on the 31st. We're going to be telling you how you can win a copy of this book. It'll be involved with either on our Palmcast Facebook group. We'll ask you to do something or something in the comments section. But we're going to be giving away two fantastic books. Let me tell you, the MSRP of this book, I'm not sure if you can see it, $29.95, guys. We're going to be giving away $60 worth of literature. So you better come back and you better watch. um, so, yes, I love this Louisiana. So, some of the things that you and I have talked about that, become kind of distinctive. The Louis, and I love if I can actually walk my lap or bring my phone over here and show you because it's so distinct. Maybe I can actually take a picture and upload it quickly. Hold on. One of the things Tom talks about that is so distinct and unique on these on Louisiana's is the older fronds. They tend to fold like downward
Yeah.
for some strange reason. I don't know why, but they do. And it's really only the Louisianas that I've seen do that. Like none of my minors, and by none of my minors, I don't mean a sample size of one or two or three. I mean probably 20. Not a single one does that. But these Louisianas consistently, when the fronds age, they just droop down. Are yours like that too?
Yeah, and I've got like a working theory. Like you said, these patterns start to emerge when you have so many different palms in your your garden that you get to look at every day. So I think the Louisianas, their leaves are so stiff, their leaflets, because we've talked about it. When you go and feel them, they feel like they're made out of like hard plastic,
Here.
and their petioles are so stiff. Yeah, that's a good example right there.
That's what I'm looking at right now on this palm right here. This is the big one that was a Riverside. I don't think it is, man. I think this thing is just like a steroided out Louisiana. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. This thing is huge. But they do this all the time. None of my minors do that. No palmettos do that. No Mexicana. Like it's just a defining characteristic.
If like so the point I was trying to make, if you go and you grab a palmetto leaf, right? Like a tall palmetto. Palmettos are notorious for like surviving wind really well, like
Yes.
a hurricane. So there's this whole thing, give it the hurricane cut so that the leaves will survive. No, 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 no,
Yes.
no. Leave the damn canopy alone.
Yep.
Nature has designed it to survive these winds, and a palmetto leaf doesn't collapse like that
Correct.
because it's really flexible. The leaflets move with the wind. If you've ever watched it in high wind, like if you've ever been to the beach when there's a storm, you can see them and they just move and pop right back up.
Yep.
A Louisiana, though, I think the whole thing is just so rigid that when it catches the wind, it has something's got to give, and I think
Yeah.
that it gives right there where the petiole meets the leaflets.
Yeah. It's it's like a paddle, like a
Yes.
stiff board, and it catches the wind like crazy. And yeah, these, that's I'm reading what they wrote down, and that's a lot of it, right? So is uh they're not great in the wind. They definitely when we have here in North Texas, we have just stupid wins all the time. And the Louisianas get beaten up way more than anybody else. So they're not fans of unfettered access to the wind. So I don't think they do quite as well in a hurricane. But the other thing is, you made the comment that yours has a ton of scale. And actually,
Yep.
Tom and Joe mentioned here that this variety can actually suffer from attacks of scale insects, which hardly ever affect sable minor, which is also true, right? Now that I think about it, I've never had to spray a single one of my minors for scale ever.
So my um that one big Louisiana, like I'm talking about, it was looking like it was going downhill from scale. There was touches of scale on the minors all around it, but like I mean touches. Like I could just brush it off with
Yeah.
a like a scrub brush,
Yeah.
and I hit it. You know, of course I sprayed those too, and it just never came back on the minors. They look fine. But the Louisiana, I had to battle that thing. I thought I had it all, sprayed everything, did a soil drench, and scrubbed off all of the scale that was all over it, and it just would come. It kept coming back over and over again. I had to really, really battle hard with that thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I've noticed scale wise, I've noticed the Louisiana is a magnet. Another one that I found to be a magnet is the green Urasana.
really.
Yeah, the green Urasana is a scale magnet. The one that you got me from uh uh over at
Yeah,
Gary's place years
yep, yep.
ago. I don't know why, man. That thing was freaking just cooked. It was covered. It's in the ground over here now, and we'll talk about the Urasana at one point because I think they're like the best trunking palm that's not usual outside of the our
Yeah.
comfort zones, if you will, to have in DFW. They are, dude, it is a rock star out here. It does not flinch with our cold weather, but it attracted scale. The other one that also attracted scale, which is weird, is the Guatemalensis. I only have one of those, and it attracted scale like I couldn't believe. I battled it for years. It's in a pot.
Mm,
It's going to go to my ranch, but I battled it last year and this year. A lot of imidacloprid.
yep.
Yeah, I drench it. I spray it. I drench it every couple, probably every quarter.
You got the scale beat on the Urasana though.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen any since.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah, and Joe always says if you drench it or if you spray it, take the emergent spear and push it around a little bit so you can get in between all the nooks and crannies
Yeah,
and really get down there because they'll try to hide.
yep, yeah. You think you got it, and then you don't really got it
And, yeah, and it takes a couple of applications. So
for sure.
imidacloprid or safari, I mean, aren't they the same thing or no?
They probably have the same active ingredient, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that's a Louisiana. I mean,
Sorry is not cheap, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
no, no,
but
no,
holy
no.
crap. For that, like the dried powdered canister that I got was like almost $200.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Imidacloprid is like for a I want to say maybe a 1 gallon or a 2 gallon. It's like $80.
Okay.
It's very reasonable.
Hmm.
And a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
I spray everything. I foliar spray everything.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm gonna soil drench, I spray the leaves also too.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, that's Louisiana. You have them in your shop. I have them in my shop. I mean, you guys should be buying Louisianas. There's no reason that what you see on the screen, you shouldn't want 10 of them. I do.
Oh,
I want 10 of
yeah. Oh my God.
them. So let's find something else interesting because, p people had said, can you guys talk about palms? Well, if you're on and you're watching, not only are we talking palm, but we're showing you palms. How about that?
Yep.
So, do you have any of these? Tom had sent me these seeds of the Green County Brazoriensis.
He sent me some seeds also. I don't, I've got seedlings.
I have a lot of these.
But
I germinated all of these. Every single one. And this is before I got the ability which I just did this year and you seem to be a lot more okay with it. But before it was like I wouldn't toss anything out to the compost pile. I'd plant every single one. I germinated this entire bag, Teddy. Half of my greenhouse on the left side, the bottom part under the racks is all year and a half old of these.
no, I've changed. So like the Brazoriensis, yeah, I've got two that I got from. Jungle Music,
Okay.
and then I've got one big one that I got from Gary. So I only have three in the ground. But no, going back to your point you're making about seeds, man, I've honestly changed since me and you met. This man, I used to hoard everything, and I would hold on to everything. And something just shifted in me where I'm like, now I know how much I need, what I'm going to sell,
Yeah.
what I'm going to keep for myself, and anything past that. I potted up a community pot of Louisiana yesterday. I think I potted maybe 30 of them up, and I threw 100 of them in the compost. The
Well,
day before that, I did Mediterranean fan palm. I was like, you know what? People can buy these in the stores a lot. These are super common. I potted 15 of them, threw 100 in the compost pile because
but see, but that's important though, right? I think your distinction's important. So let's say, for example, I understand if it's something people can buy or something that's not that you just are recharging what your inventory is, I
yep.
don't feel so bad. But let's say someone sends you 250 Palmetto Bald Head Islands.
Oh, everyone, all of them.
I'm not gonna throw a single one of those away.
No, 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 no. Every single one of
Right?
them. Yeah, yeah.
It matters what you're growing. At the time, Tom sent me this whole bag and I was watching these photos and I was like, this is a beautiful Brazoriensis. I don't know if he's going to have access to it every single year. So I think in my brain, if I'm potting something up that I have in my yard that I know seeds every single year, I don't care, dude. Like I'm at the point where whatever of my seeds I don't sell, I just go to the ranch and where I have a wild area that I don't do anything in, I just broadcast seed the heck out of them. I don't care,
Hmm.
man. We have garbage bags and I just tell the kids, go walk that way and throw them. I don't care.
Yep.
But that comes from the fact that you and I have so much more palms than we know what the heck to do with. So
Yeah,
I think it depends, obviously, right?
for sure. It does.
So on this Brazoria, we'll have Tom tell us exactly the origins and every. I I don't know who we got it from. If I probably I look back in my notes, I can find out. But I do a diligent job of taking all the photos he sends me, and you can see 2019. I think this thing he'll tell you. I believe this is planted in Greene County at a library. I believe. And I want to say it's under a power line. And it no, no, I'm lying. It was under an oak tree or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I
And it was
thought.
under
Yeah,
the canopy of an oak and it languished and didn't do as much as he expected it to do. But when you see the time lapses, you can start to see,
dude, that's a huge difference right there in 2 years.
look at this base. And again, if you didn't know any better, you would just say it's probably just a minor. It's not looking Mexicana like. It's not looking Palmetto like.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a palmetto.
It just looks like almost like my gigantic minor Louisiana mystery thing over here. Just
Yeah,
this ridiculous base of petioles. And then as you can see, you can start to see
dude, that is.
look at this beauty. Come on.
What is that? What I can't see the years. So last it was like 2 years, and then
Hold
this
on.
is what another 2 years.
It's not allowing me to zoom. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Come on, Google. Get yourself together. Hold on. So what the heck is going on here?
But regardless, even if that's 3 or 4 more years, it doesn't matter. That thing is crazy looking in that picture.
Why is it not letting me zoom? Bro, this is killing me. What's going on here? Hold on. If I zoom out here, maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is, oops, not that one. So this is from 24. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so
want to
when
say this is from 24. This is the year because I save everything he sends me.
so
So
yeah,
this is
that's what
21.
3 years later, right? Yeah.
So from here plus your 4 years and with no canopy, I mean, look at the trunk on this bad boy. It's
Unbelievable.
and I think I don't know the angle, but here's the building. Here's the window. Here's the building, probably a window like over here. But you could just see how beautiful, like, look at this.
Dude, unbelievable.
This is in 25. So from
Yeah,
24 to
so one
25,
more year. Yeah, look at
look
that.
at this, dude. Look at this gigantic trunk. It's beautiful, absolutely incredible. And the power lines are right here. I just noticed that.
Yeah, so like
Look at that.
if I could have one palm, I know you said Birmingham earlier, and then we both kind of agreed on Louisiana. No, I would take this though. That thing is stunning, dude.
I can never have one palm. Every
I
time I'm like, oh
know.
yeah, I just want that. Oh no, I just want that. But if I can only have that, this is a very beautiful palm. My concern is it's under a power line. God, I hope that they don't have to. And again, Tom, thank you so much for the seeds because I'm gonna grow some of these out here for myself. I've
Man.
sold a lot of these, and I hope to sell a lot of these as we go forward. But this is one where if Tom wouldn't have paid attention, let's say the power company's like, hey, we got to cut this thing down. That's another example of we would have lost this thing
Yep.
to the ash heap of history. And that would suck. This is a beautiful palm. Look at that. This is 25 again. So this is the same year, just from another angle.
Dude,
So here's the
crazy.
power lines. Now you're looking to the right. Like that is a just an absolutely beautiful palm. Unbelievably beautiful.
I like you and I have talked about it before that we both love palmettos. I would take that over palmetto any day though.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I I think the palmetto is very it's distinct. It's a more compact crown. It looks smaller and it is smaller. These Brazoriensises and Mexicanas too. I'll get into those. But
The trunk's smaller too, like diameter.
yes,
Why? Look at that. Go back one picture. Look at that,
this
dude.
one, yeah.
Unreal.
How big do you
Like
think that is?
the trunk
Yeah,
has to that 4 feet diameter. Like
incredible.
you could stop a truck if you hit that thing for sure, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely you could. Absolutely. 100%. Now, what else is cool? Well, have you seen the photos of the Sabal causiarum from the guy? I don't know. He's probably in Florida. The ones of his kid who's probably
Yeah,
6 or 8 years old.
dude.
He's at the base of the petioles, and where he trimmed off the old ones, and they're in his driveway, and he puts them next to a recycling can, and the things are like gigantic. I
Yep.
I almost feel like my son Conrad, our 11-year-old, and all my kids would be climbing in that thing and they would be hanging out. I could see Conrad up in there in the canopy, in the
Seriously.
shade, reading a book in the summertime.
Yeah.
And you probably could. It could probably take and support him. I'm not kidding.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just I can't get over these photos. I'm so glad I asked for photos. So this is one from what, 2025. So I gotta ask. Oh, so this is in December. I gotta ask Tom. I'll take a mental note. I'm gonna ask him for an updated photo of the Greene County Brazoriensis. But this thing used to be called the Texensis. It's now been renamed. This was found in Brazoria County, which is west of Houston, southwest of Houston, sorry. Some experts believe that this is a naturally occurring hybrid. When we talk about hybrids, this is actually one of the, well, not one of, this is the only one that's verified that
Yeah,
truly has
verified.
been looked at that actually is a hybrid. So everybody out there who thinks that they have a hybrid of this and this and this, you probably don't. And it would cost quite a bit of money to go and figure it out. We've talked about this with Tom on the last episode, but this one evidently is uh, is believed to be. And what's interesting is the thought is that it's between a minor and a Mexicana, right? And it makes sense. Look at the base and the trunk, the size, the sheer width of the crown. This is not a palmetto, not even close. Um, so if there were two things that I'd want is cold hardiness, and you get that out of the minor, And I love the Mexicanas because they're gigantic. The trunks are huge. The crown is gigantic, like twice the size of a Mex or of a palmetto or more. But the problem that I found is my Mexicana, once it gets under like 15 or 14, I get a bit of foliar damage. So if I can not have the foliar damage, but get the size of the trunk and the crown and everything from the minor genetics, that's that's it right there, dude. That's
Yeah.
100%. That's what I want.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so it's the only known sable hybrid. So I want to repeat that. It is the only known and verified sable hybrid. Um,
Yeah, we've talked about it. I think I'm gonna work on that myself. That's kind of like, everybody's got goals they set for their own life and whatever. This is just kind of a side quest goal, but I really, really want to get some kind of like GoFundMe together to see
yeah,
if we can get people to pitch in and start getting some genetic testing done on sables,
yeah.
like Birmingham and then Sable, Louisiana,
And Black
because
Burniana.
yep, Black Berniana. There's more work to be done, and I will beat this horse until there's
Yeah.
nothing left of it. There's more to be done in the realm of palms than people think. They think everything's figured out, and it's really not. There's more to go still. And I would like to just be a part of it. I'm not going to be a doctor and, any of this or have my name on like some, like Scott Zona has on, all these reports that he does. But if I could just know for myself that I donated some time and money to figuring out what a palm is, that would make me happy. I'd feel satisfied with doing that.
Well, so that's a good point. For anybody out there, if you're listening, if you're interested, if you guys are interested in either donating time, talent, or treasure to that quest, I would do that as a business. I would do it.
For
And
sure.
if you're out there, if I actually know someone that I'll reach out to that's at a university that could probably help. I need to do that. If you're out there and you're listening and you're a professor, you're doing a PhD, you need a thesis, you need something to do, and you want to help us, please come and reach out to us. We'd love to help to solve some of these questions that have been out there because I was going to read this. So check this out, Teddy. It says for many years the palm was identified as merely a form of sable minor. How about that?
Sounds familiar.
How about that sable miner on the screen there, my friend? That's a heck of
Yeah,
a sable miner, isn't it?
exactly. Like go back to, not physically go back, but like think back to Tony Cerbone's Louisiana and
Yeah,
how many people just say, no, they're just sable miners.
yeah.
Sorry, whoever's listening that falls into that camp. I know you can't respond to me saying it right now, but you can in the comments. I don't care what you say and who you are, you're wrong. It's not merely a sable miner. There's something else going on there.
A 100%. Like that right there is. I mean, even if you compare the miners in North Carolina when they have a trunk, or in Georgia, right? There's some
It's
of those photos
yeah,
that
it's
of
not the
very
same
old
though.
ones.
It's
No, it's
not the
not.
same.
It doesn't look. It doesn't look the same. It's not the same height. There's so many things that just don't match. So
Yep.
this one actually lends itself, which again, I'll repeat, the best combo ever here for me. You have all the benefits of minor, the hardiness, all that stuff, and you get the Mexicana, which is truly trunking, truly large. I mean, if you've seen Mexicanas, here, I'll show you some of the ones in our shop come from this Mexicana, which is also with Tony here in Dallas.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, like Palmetto goes like 15 feet diameter, and I think Mexicana is like 25 feet, right?
they
For the
get very
canopy.
large. They get very, yeah. I'll read. Hold on, where is it? Man, I got to use the search function. Here. So all of our Mexicanas, and check this growth out. 2009 in Dallas to 2023.
That's unbelievable growth rate.
It's
I
unreal.
Man, I've never argued with Tony before, and but I don't talk to him like you and him do. But like his Louisianas, I'm like, I've asked him before, like, are you sure that you've got the dates right for how fast it grows?
It's
And
just too quick.
he's like, of course I'm sure. Like, but same thing, yeah. Everything he posts, I'm like, what is going on? Like, he's in like I don't know some kind of perfect palm climate there. I don't know, and
I'm
he's right
jealous,
down the road
man.
from you, right?
He's probably 40, between 30 and mm, maybe 40 minutes. Probably,
Yeah,
I'd say probably about a half hour, probably. So
yeah. So
yeah,
like
not
from
too
me
far.
to Nashville, yeah,
And he planted all of these. I'm gonna pull up one that's even more current, but he planted these, and I'm gonna get him on the show. I have to.
yeah. We got to
He
have him on.
planted these in Dallas, and he planted them and has never taken care of them. So he doesn't. There's no. It's in a median, I believe, in his neighborhood, or like as you're approaching his neighborhood. And he's never had any supplemental watering. These things have just had to fend for themselves. And that's how they look year after year. They don't get beaten up by our winters. They look fantastic. And I'm gonna try to find one here. I'm gonna upload one right now. This is the most current photo. This is from, I want to say this is from, oops, 20. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, 2024. So that's 24. This is
1 year
also,
later,
oh no,
or
yeah,
25, yeah,
25 in January. And check this out. This is the one he just actually sent me the other day.
crazy.
What a beautiful, and what's so cool is uh Tony goes out there and they trim all the old stuff, all the old growth. And look how good these look, man. Like this with a minor
Beautiful.
again is an absolutely impeccable combination. I know everybody has their own thoughts and goals and what they're looking for, but like this is a beautiful palm, man.
Yeah, Mexicana is a really nice one.
And if you can get that out of a Brazoria, also have the hardiness, this is a no-brainer. Have you planted a Green County Brazoriensis at your place yet?
No, that's what. Yeah, so I've got two from Jungle Music, one from Gary, and then I've got Green County. I've got in pots, but that's it. I haven't planted any yet.
Yeah. It says Tom's got this as it is as nearly as hardy as a minor. Established specimens in Texas have survived single-digit temperatures and several days below freezing with no damage. So, how could you not want this and the ability to weather several days under freezing in single digits with no damage? Like, again, Teddy, if you don't want this and you grow cold hardy palms, I can't be your friend. Honestly. I don't know. It's like I don't get it.
Crazy. What
So
what what didn't the official results though for Brazoriensis, didn't they show Palmetto as one of the parents though?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and hold on. Let me check. Hang on. Since we're doing this live.
I'm sure that Tom and I talked about this, and I'll have to remind him of the conversation when we get him on the show. Um, but I met Tom at one of his properties, and we walked around and looked at all the plants. And then him and I stayed on the phone. He drove his truck, and I drove mine as we went to Joe's place for the palm sighting meeting. But we talked about all kinds of stuff. Um, and I don't want to quote him when he's not here. And it just came up in passing in the conversation. But I personally believe that there's a lot more hybrids that are probably out there and a lot of weird things and probably species that haven't been identified
Yep.
with sables, whether they're hybrids or not. They might just be its own thing. One of the things that he brought up was the Rock Island palmetto in Florida.
Yes.
It's like this like weird thing, and I've been trying to get seeds forever, and I don't know how to do it. I don't know anybody that's there that can get them. You got some?
Yeah. So this may be controversial. We'll have to talk about this next week.
Okay.
Uh, but Hayes in Alabama
Yeah.
has what he believes is a Miamiensis. And talking to Tom, Tom thinks it's a Rock Island palmetto.
Hmm.
So check this out. Hayes sent me seeds. So thank you, Hayes. Of this is his. And here's his seeds. And I've got a bunch of them. I haven't grown them out yet. That's what it looks like when he planted it. But um, Tom is reasonably convinced that it is a Rock Island palmetto. So if you want some seeds, I can send you some seeds.
Hmm. Trying to look at that picture.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get
It
a.
doesn't look like a Miamiensis though.
Yeah,
And I say that because so everybody, maybe you have a better eye than I do, but Miamiensis has your typical ones. They don't support that many leaves at the same time, like at
yes,
that height. It's kind of like Etonia has got a really distinctive look, but
correct,
they don't hold that many leaves. That's more in line with a palmetto in my
correct,
eye, looking
correct.
at it.
I would agree. I would agree. So, but I can send you seeds.
Hell
Which,
yeah.
yeah, I
Please,
got
I'll
seeds.
take two of them.
I didn't even tell you prior to the show. How about that? Surprise. That's how anybody who's listening, do we actually do these unscripted? The answer is yes. We have no notes in front of us outside of this lovely book that you should buy, everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this is another one that I think is interesting. And again, for a lot of people who just want a palm, they don't really care what it is. But for you, me, and the group of folks that cares about these oddballs, this is the kind of stuff that I look for. I have it labeled
Yep.
as a Miamiensis still. But yeah, that's what Tom thinks it is. So this other one, which again, so this is an interesting one. Tom and I don't know what this thing is. It doesn't match a Domingensis, but it was labeled a Domingensis. Tom can talk about it when he hops on.
Yep.
But this guy is in Valdosta, Georgia, is a beautiful, beautiful looking palm. I've got one in the yard that I protected this last winter with some cloth and C9, and it did just fine. But this does not look palmetto-like. It doesn't
No,
look.
it's no, for sure. That's what I was just gonna say. That thing is literally 100% not a palmetto.
I know. So then the question everybody wants to know is, so then what is it? Right? And we kind of have to trust the information that we got when the grower bought it from his person, right? So it is what it is. But this is evidently is a Domingensis. The one thing I'll say is, which is interesting, and it not a fan of Google today. It keeps like screwing around with all my stuff. The seeds are gigantic. I took some photo. I thought I did. The seeds are gigantic. Here's the underbelly of this thing. The seeds are really big. I was
Hmm.
very, very surprised at how large they are. And so it's not a palmetto. Here's my
S-
3 gallon ones in the shop right now.
Similar. The seeds were similar in size to Urasana or different.
They were probably closer to like a Urasana or a Pumos, right? Those Pumos are freaking
Yeah,
huge.
Pumos are big. Yeah.
Very, very big. These are
Urasana is
ours.
pretty small. They're only a little bit bigger than palmetto, right?
Um, I believe so. I have a great man, if only I knew everything off the top of my head. I don't. I do know that these were germinated 2 summers ago, I think. 2 springs, yeah, in 2024. And this is what they already looked like by August.
Hmm.
And they were big. So this is July, and a
Yep.
month later they were already
That's fast.
very, very quick. No
That's
doubt
really
about it.
fast.
Very quick. So in 2 years, I now have that
Yeah, that's fast.
very, very quick. The one that Tom sent me is the one right here, and I put this out in the ground, and I don't think I have any current photos of it, but
Hmm.
it's gotten big. It's probably quadruple the size of this thing. And the interesting characteristic, it's probably hard to see here, is it has tomentum, which is like the scruff.
Yeah.
on the petioles. It has a
Yeah.
lot of tomentum. It's very, very. Why is Google all of a sudden doing this today? Why can't I zoom in and zoom out? This is killing me. Freaking
Yeah, I've
Google.
noticed that on different palms will have that and then some won't. And then
It,
the ligules, the like fibers between the petioles also, it's interesting which ones have it and which ones don't.
correct. That's very much a causiarum thing. Big time.
Which I'm watching these ones that I've got that I bought as palmetto, and they have a lot of ligules though. So I don't know. We'll see.
Who'd you buy it from?
Jungle Music, which I'm talking to people, again, this is not me knocking anybody,
No,
but
no, absolutely not.
palmetto's not common in California though.
No, no, it's not at all. Not even close.
So where did they get seeds from? Did the person they got seeds from mix them up? You know what I mean? It's so
It,
again, it's not to knock them, but it's like where did you get them from? Did the person you get them from mix them up?
it happens. Not on purpose.
Yeah,
Here's
right.
here's ours. I just uploaded it, so it should be here. This is oh, here it is. This was taken 2 weeks ago.
And
So
when did you plant that one you got from Tom, the tree pot?
last spring. So
Oh
from
my God.
here to here in
Oh man.
not even a full year. I planted it, I want to say I want to say this is April or May. Yeah, it's May of 25.
No, that's crazy growth. That's
These
triple the
are
size.
these are very, very quick. And I mean, it just continues to grow. And what I've noticed about this one is it's very dark green, like really forest green, dark, very dark, tomentum, really unique. And I mean, truthfully, dude, I didn't do much. I gave it some, a frost cloth and C9 lights. I wanted to actually baby this one to get
Yeah.
it through a year to get it to be that much hardier. But I didn't do that much, man. I didn't build a structure and insulate it and all that stuff. And it literally suffered zero burn. So whether it's a Dominguensis or not, I don't know. I don't really care. Whatever it is, it's unique, it's beautiful, it's fast, it has cool defining characteristics to it, and it is very hardy. Tom's got to post his pictures. His is huge,
Yep.
and it's been through like single digits, and it's fine. So maybe it's just a crazy palmetto variability. Who knows? I have no clue. Whatever it is,
Mm,
I love it,
yeah, whatever it is right. But looking at that first
but it's
picture,
not.
it doesn't look like palmetto to me, man.
No, I know. Like this picture always caught my eye. Its leaflets are huge.
Yeah, it just, yeah, it's just not. It's
I
just not
know.
palmetto.
I know. I know. So whatever it is, I'm happy to have it. So let's stop on the Dominguensis. And then we'll pick up next weekend. We got Hayes Jackson, so that'll be great. That'll be a lot of fun to get Hayes on the
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Hayes is going to be on the program. Um, anything else that we want to end it off with? I mean,
Yeah, just I think this episode was really good because we're getting back to basics and we need to do more of these. Like
I
I
agree.
think we could continue this for probably 5, 6 episodes when we do them by ourselves, and we don't always have to, but this is good because, like I said, this shows again that everything's just not figured out. There's more to learn, and this is I think this is what fascinates me about palms in general, but plants in general is, if it was all figured out and everybody knew everything, hey, your plant's going to be 4 feet tall in 2 years. It's going
Yep.
to look exactly like this. This is what's going to happen. I don't. That's kind of boring. Everything's already been done, and um, there's still mysteries. And to me, I like it. I like the fantasy and the mystery about it, and figuring things out. And I don't know. I love palms. I can't help it.
I'm a big fan of what's interesting to me is taking 25 seeds and you would expect them to be reasonably the same. Although Joe has told us that, you can have a whole family and not
Yeah,
every and not every sibling is the same, which that's pretty good wisdom.
that
But
is true.
I like the fact that I don't know what's going to happen on the other side with
Yep,
25. So yeah, I'm with you. I like the mystery. I like the fun of all this. And yeah, I agree too as well. I think we're gonna do a lot more of these kinds of shows, getting back to basics. I'm
yep,
gonna also, this has made me realize that I need to get more of the photos that I take on here and upload them onto Google Photos so that I could sit here and walk through this stuff because I think actually walking through the pictures with our viewers live so that you could see what we're talking about and kind of
yep.
point out some of the stuff that our brains are seeing. I think those are awesome episodes. So I'm gonna do a lot better about organization or adding some new stuff into my Google, which on our next episode will continue on. We only hit Brazoriensis. We hit the Mex no, only Brazoriensis. We hit
Louisiana.
Louisiana and Birmingham pretty much in
Yep.
depth. So we got a lot more to cover.
I'm gonna say it again. Look at you, smart man, showing pictures.
I'm trying, man. We were asked to show more Palm content, so whoever that user was, I want to see you put a comment saying thanks for all the Palm content because that was very. This episode was Palm heavy, incredibly Palm heavy, and I think getting back to basics is a good thing, man.
Yeah, it is the Palmcast after all, and it
True,
makes sense.
true.
But you can't just have a yard full of palms. We've said that too. You got to have other plants involved. Most of the people that watch, even if you have a YouTube and you don't post content, you watch content for sure. So people like Destin last week, we're figuring out how he grew to be as big as he is, how he posts content, the camera he uses. So all these people and all these different guests that we have on, it's all related content though, and that's why we have a variety of people, just so that everybody understands a little piece of the pie behind the wisdom of what we're doing here.
Yeah, all these things are adjacent.
Yep,
They're completely adjacent. You know, if you're showing stuff off, you have to know those things. If you have plants, you have to water them. So having irrigation kind of stuff is important, and
yep,
everything else, everything's adjacent. So it's not going to hurt to learn these things. So why not learn them?
yep, exactly,
All right.
exactly, exactly.
Well, dude, that was a great episode. Oh,
Dude, what is that? Your mower
that
crawling in the background?
that's my mower.
Nice.
I love
I'm gonna
that
have,
thing.
I gotta hit you up about that. I'm tired of mowing my grass, man. I think I'm gonna have to get one.
So I'm trying to get my local guys who they sell and service and install. I'm trying to get them on the show because I think that would be awesome too. That's an adjacency as well.
Yeah, seriously. Spend more time gardening and less time mowing.
Yeah. So, hey man, I appreciate the last 2 hours. That was a full 2 hour show. So I appreciate your time as always. And again, I'll say a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do, allowing us to do all this other nonsense.
Thank you as well. Man, look at all the computer work you did today. I appreciate that so much, and I know our viewers do too. So since they can't all say thank you right now, I will thank you. Tom, Sable King, Texas, thank you for everything you do, sir.
Yes, sir. Happy to do it. As everyone, take a look at Teddy's shop on eBay, my shop on Etsy. Hit us up on all the socials. It's pretty easy to find us. And we are signing off. This is episode 13 of the Palmcast. We'll see you guys on episode 14 next week. Thanks, everybody.